Max the Blessed Holloway puts on a great performance against Dustin Poirier at UFC 318. Dustin Poirier took an L in his retirement fight, and Max Holloway proved everybody wrong, just like he said he would. And I'm going to quickly break down and give my thoughts, my final thoughts on UFC 318's main event. First of all, I want to start off by saying Max Holloway should never have returned to featherweight to fight Ilia Poirier. He is a different fighter at 155 pounds. You can see that he actually has more power at 155 pounds. He looks stronger, he looks sharper. I do feel like cutting back down to 145 pounds wasn't the best decision. Obviously, I still think Ilia probably would KO him at 155 pounds. But I do feel like if he was to fight Ilia at 155 pounds then, it would have been, Max Holloway would have had a better chance at winning that fight. I think Ilia probably would have respected the power a little bit more. But it is what it is. But boy, Max looked sharp. He looked very, very sharp. He was throwing in combinations. Dustin Poirier couldn't really keep up in terms of the combinations. And the adjustments Max made going into this trilogy fight was absolutely amazing. Him and his team got everything right. And to be honest, I do think out of the two fighters, Max has leveled up a lot more than when they last fought. Max looks good at 155 pounds. I can't lie to you guys. He looks very, very good. And I was watching the fight, the whole fight, thinking, damn, Max is putting on a real clinic here, man. Don't get me wrong, it was close, but I do think Max had the more volume. He was throwing in combinations, and he wasn't just headhunting. He was going to the body as well. He was beating up the body. I know people probably look at Max Holloway's face and think, oh, he took more damage. But if you actually look at Dustin Poirier's body towards the end of the fight, you could see there was a lot of redness. Max was landing a lot of body kicks. The body kicks were really, really good. The way Max was mixing in the body kicks, he even threw some spinning back kicks as well that landed. So yeah, Max's game plan was on point. Like I said, he had more volume. He was throwing in combinations. Don't get me wrong, you could see when Dustin was hitting Max, there was a bit of a power discrepancy, but at the same time, Max looks good at 155 pounds, and doing what he did to Justin Gaethje and then doing what he's done to Dustin Poirier, I believe he dropped Dustin twice. So, Max is definitely a problem at 155 pounds, and you know what? Maybe we should have got Max at 155 pounds a long time ago. I know he has fought at 155 pounds years ago, but as you guys will know, he didn't get up to the weight in a healthy way. But anyways, let's talk about round one of this fight. Obviously, Holloway dropped Max in round one. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I was thinking, damn, is this about to be over? Because Max landed a good right hand, which kind of landed on the guard, but it's like it punched through the guard kind of thing. Dropped him. Max tried to get some ground and pound in. Well, he tried to, but Dustin was able to get back up straight away. And Max definitely took that round. Then round two, Holloway dropped Poirier again. And I can't lie, the fight was quite similar to the second fight. But I just feel like Max was stepping on the gas a bit more. He was, even when he was moving back, he was moving, he would move laterally. Sometimes it's, these words, they're mind-boggling, but he was moving and he was making lateral movements. He wasn't just moving straight back, which was making Dustin work more. And I do feel like that, with all the combinations and the volume and the body shots that Max was throwing, I do feel like the game plan was coming along great, and it was taking its toll on Dustin, because Dustin did look a bit tired towards the end of the fight. So did Max, but I do feel like Dustin looked a lot more tired. And yeah, in round 2, Holloway dropped Poirier again, and he was getting the ground and pound. I even had some people messaging me like, "Oh, you watching Max and Dustin? It's not looking good for Dustin. It's hard to watch this, that." And I'm just sitting there going, "Oh, like it was so crazy to see that." And this is why Max definitely belongs at 155 pounds, because especially when it got into the ground situations, the wrestling situations, Max actually looked a lot stronger than Dustin. Whereas in their previous 2 fights, when it did go to the ground, Dustin looked like the stronger guy. And then yeah, in round two was a crazy round, to be fair. And I can understand why some people might want to give it to Dustin, but I do think if we're looking at the overall round, I do think Holloway won that round. But towards the end of the round, literally with about 15, 20 seconds to go, Dustin drops Holloway. Holloway does very well to, when he drops to the ground, Dustin tries to follow up, but Holloway, swivels his head out of the way. He done very well to defend the shots coming from the top. Did very well. But again, I would probably give that round to Holloway. Then round 3, round 3 was pretty even, to be fair. So round 3 was probably the round I could say people can give it to Dustin, because if I'm being honest, I do feel like it was 4-1, because I just feel like Max had the more volume, and he was actually, the thing is, people can say, "Oh, if you throw in volume, that doesn't mean you're landing," but Max was actually throwing in volume and landing in combinations. But round 3, I can see why people would probably give that to Dustin, and it was a pretty even round, to be fair. And then round 4, I do feel like Holloway was doing his thing, controlling the fight. To be honest, the whole fight, I do feel like Holloway did very well at controlling the fight. He didn't really let Dustin settle. And Dustin likes to do a thing where he'll catch you and then he'll push you back, flurry a bit, and that's where Dustin shines well. He shines well in the chaos. Throws a flurry, gets you backing up. And when he gets you backing up, that's when he starts throwing the bombs. And I do feel like Max done well to manage the distance and, just manage and control the fight as a whole, man. Max did very, very well, very, very, very well. And, it just proved that the lighter men have skills in this, man, because these guys are still light guys. But, it just proves again what everyone says. The smaller guys have the skills, and skills pay the bills. And if you have skills and the power and you combine the two, you are an absolute problem. And then going into the final round, again, Max was doing well, landing to the body. He landed a body shot, a left to the body. He landed a body kick. I don't know what happened, guys, there. Sorry, man. But he landed another body kick, and Dustin actually acknowledged it, because you could tell it was a hard shot. And again, Max controlled that round, in my honest opinion. And then the last 10 seconds, pointed to the ground like a true BMF would do, and they went for it. And again, Max had the better of the exchange. It's actually crazy, but you know what I like about Max here? When he does point to the ground, it's like he has this thing in his head where he will rip to the body, and then it's like it gets his opponents dropping their hands, and then he goes to the head. It's crazy. Max is that guy, man. Very, very good boxer, man. Very good striking. His body kicks were amazing. Spinning back kicks were good as well. It was a good fight. Very good fight. It possibly could have got fight of the night, but obviously we had Kevin Holland and Daniel Rodriguez, and we had Allen and what's his face, Alan and Vittori. But I'll be honest, guys, I fell asleep and I woke. It's so weird how the body works, because I was watching the prelims, but I fell asleep a few fights before Alan and Vittori, and then I woke up literally as the main card was starting, so I got to watch all of the main card. But yeah, I mean, this is what we expected from this fight. To be fair, their last two fights, well, their last fight was a banger, and this is what these sort of fighters do. They bring the best out of each other and create bangers. So, you know, it was a great fight. But listen, Max is a force to be reckoned with at lightweight. Obviously, Dana said that Ilya does deserve to fight Max Holloway for the BMF belt at lightweight. So who knows? Maybe they put, because I did hear Dana say they would probably do that fight and have both belts on the line. It's just, I still think Ilya has the power advantage over Max. But who knows? At 155 pounds, and maybe, you know, being able to feel a man's shot before, because you know some people, they get knocked out by a guy, and then after that, it's like they can just take the power. Do you know what I mean? So when they do eventually rematch, so you know, who knows, man? But there's some interesting fights to be made at lightweight. I'm gonna do another separate video for that. I just wanted to do a little recap of Holloway versus Poirier. Obviously, shouts out to Dustin the Diamond Poirier. He is officially retired, laid down his gloves in the octagon. What a career he has had. Even his last 11 fights have been crazy. He has not had an easy ride at all. And it's sad, you know, to see him go out the way he's gone out, because he's never lost 2 fights in a row. But, you know, they say there's always a first time for everything. And now he has retired. He has officially lost 2 fights in a row. But shouts out to Dustin the Diamond Poirier. We hope you enjoy your retirement. Obviously, I'm a big McGregor fan, but listen, I'm a fan of mixed martial arts as a whole. So, you know, we're not going to put McGregor over mixed martial arts. And to be honest, what Dustin has done for the sport, continuously done for the sport, you know, I have to commend him. McGregor has completely, you know, shadowed himself. But shout out to Dustin Poirier. And shout out to Max Holloway, the BMF champion. Like I said, I'll be doing a separate video with potential matchups that can be made, because boy, listen, if I was the UFC, just cook. Yeah, like, because there's some interesting matchups to be made now at lightweight, and Dustin Poirier is officially gone. So, you know, the lightweight division is still in a good spot, but it's gonna be strange not to see Dustin Poirier in that like top 5, top 10, and you know, not to see him compete anymore. But the whole card as a whole, I'll probably give it a 7 out of 10. There were some decent fights. Paulo Costa and Roman Kopylov was a good fight. So was Kevin Holland and Daniel Rodriguez. Kevin Holland, again, you fucking cunt, man. Like, Holland, I don't even, you know, this is why I don't even like to predict Holland's fights. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys again tomorrow.